Okay, shit, dude. Maybe one day I'll figure this out better. Okay. I went live. Time to test. Make sure. Dude, let me look at my bullshit. Fuck. Okay. Come on. Yep. All right, that's working. And where? Fuck it. Oh, am I live on you? Live streaming. All right, we're doing it. Okay, guys, what we're gonna do today? I might do a bit of jumping around. I don't know how much. Fuck's sake. I don't know how much uh time I have. I'm gonna try to keep this under an hour or two for real. Okay, but let me look at my settings real quick. Headphone mic is up there. Maybe I'll turn this up a bit. I don't know. Okay, let's. Jeez, dude. ATM multi-stream always has me getting real confused. All right, let's go through some stuff. All right.
In it. So let's jump.
So like, I'm just gonna pass the intro here where he's saying people don't know what they're talking about when it comes to gun, bullet calibers type of things. Okay, so uh, see what this man has to say. Let's give him credit. What's his name? Valhalla VFT. These veterans loved Valhalla, man. It's like they're all Valhalla. I don't know. Are you guys pagan? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Love you guys.
To Tyler's 30-06. Oof. Now you might be asking, how did they get it
And
so?
I love the drama between these special forces people, man. It's so fucking funny. But I mean, I mostly feel bad when they're like caught lying and stuff. Like I don't know, man. I feel bad for them to some degree. I feel bad for anybody who gets caught up in a bunch of drama and like their name gets dragged through the dirt and like everybody's immediately there to judge them, you know. Although I do the same thing, I'm mostly just kidding around though. Like if I talk shit on somebody, I hope everybody realizes that it's I gotta make it entertaining. I gotta make it entertaining. Okay, guys. So
Fucking wrong. Well, instead
let's
of
see.
gaslighting you and lying to you, what I'm going to do is just pull up the full report and we're going to go through it line by line so I can explain to you what's really in
Thank
it. So
you.
let's jump into it. Don't worry, I'm going to debunk all this trash slop
I
right
want to
away and
see.
show you guys why
I
the
want to
last people
know.
on earth that you should be listening to for
I want to
firearms and
know.
ballistics information is these
I
turds.
want
All
to
right, don't forget
know.
to like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel. Follow us on
I want to
Patreon. Grab
know.
some American
I
First
wish I
Amendment
knew.
only merch. Let's
Hold
do
on.
it. Okay, so what exactly happened here? This report came out, and again, the
Boop, 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 boop,
Tatums
boop,
and the
boop, boop.
Liz Wheelers of the world immediately
Okay.
rushed to the internet to
I'm
say
a bit
this
louder.
proves a 30-06 was used. Well,
I
let's
don't
look
think
at the report.
so. As you guys know, I earlier said that I've shot 30-06. I shot a statue, like a Romanesque statue. And I mean, I'd highly recommend it. It was awesome. It's something rarely you would get a chance to do. But and I've went hunting before. I mean, but I don't know how a 30-06 wound would translate on an animal to a human. I've went bear hunting before. I didn't make the kill shot or anything like that, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, I'm not an expert on firearms by any means, but I'm grew up in the South, so obviously I've touched my fair share of guns. I have one right in my desk right here, legally owned. So let's go.
All right, here we go. Here's the actual findings of that ATF report. We're going to go through it line by line. So, of course, line one, this is where everybody who doesn't know anything about firearms.
I appreciate that he keeps this video short. I really do, because as somebody who's going to react to it, you guys can get the information, and maybe at most I double the length, making it a 20-minute Sit down.
Rush to Twitter to claim victory. All right, here we go. As it says, Exhibit 6 consists of one 30 caliber class. This is going to be very important here in a second. Deformed damaged bullet jacket fragment designated 6A and 4 lead fragments designated 6B through 6E. And so when Officer Tatum sees this, he sees the number 30 and assumes.
All right, yeah, that's I don't know. Being an officer and still making that sort of mistake, somebody who has had firearms training, I guess they don't ever work with rifles other than 5.56, maybe. I don't know, but still, shocking amount of ignorance on a police officer's point. So let's see. Actually, guys, I just have to check something real quick. I apologize. I have to see if what this is titled. What does this say? When I stream, does it just title shit automatically? I see that I'm streaming, but does it have a name? I mean, I apologize, guys. Let me go watch my, dude. Okay, hold on a second. You know what I'll do? I'll go here. I'll go to my YouTube channel from a different account. Oh, mother effer, dude. Okay. Right here. Okay, sorry, guys. I do apologize. I changed my name to Pseudo React, if you guys didn't realize. I know there's only about 2 of you, but maybe one day there'll be more. So let's go here and see what my live stream... It still says the Quaker question. You guys... It's not the Quaker question, guys. Stream settings. Here it is. Edit. Multiple reactions. I don't know what to write here, guys. See, vlogging. Sorry. Through the BS. What's going on with Israel? I refuse to capitalize it. Description. Finding the truth and the lies. Yeah. That's fucking creative, isn't it? Alright, sorry guys. Okay, let us continue with the stories. Let's see if I refresh that actually. Cha-cha-cha. It's still... I'm sorry guys. Where's the thumbnail? Where is the thumbnail? Mother effer. Alright, whatever. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. It's not the Quaker thing, okay? I don't know why. Can I now? I just can't. I just can't, guys. Holy fucking shit. What a waste. I'm wasting your time. I'm sorry. Get better. Get better, Patrick. Get better. Do better. Be better. Stop being a piece of shit. Fuck. You suck. Ah. Alright. Where is it? Damn it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where the did it go, dude? Oh, okay. There it is. Sorry, guys.
Yes, this
Here we go.
A 30-06 was used. Unfortunately, that's not what 30 caliber means. Yes, as it turns out, 30 caliber does not mean 30-06. And let me explain. Got some nice little charts and graphs to show you. But first, what is 30 caliber actually?
They are very confusing in the, bullet calibers and all that shit, and it changes across brands and countries and stuff. So, but by no means do I know what the fuck I'm talking about here. I just know bullet go boom. Or should I say bullet casing make bullet go boom.
actually mean? What does caliber mean? Caliber simply means the diameter of the bullet, not of the cartridge itself, just the bullet. And 30 means 3/10 of an inch. Well, I hate to break it to you, but a 30 caliber is the most common bullet fired out of dozens of different rifles and dozens of different
I
rounds.
wonder, let me take a guess. Could a 30 caliber be a 22? It's the diameter of the bullet. No, I don't think so, right? I don't know. I don't know. Look how tiny that tip is. Let's see what he
Let's take a
says.
look. Now, a lot of people are visual learners.
If I was a gambling man,
so I figured this.
I'd gamble that, whatever they say is wrong. Not him. The Dio shills.
Would be the perfect thing to show everybody. So again, what does this say? 30 caliber round and rifle platform guide. And as you notice here, yes, there is a 30-06 round sitting right here. But what else do we see? Oh, we see about 10 other rounds who are all 30
Where's the
caliber
30-06? 300 blackout. 300, 300, 762, 300, 300. There's a 30-30. I had heard use of a 30-30 Marlin, like, lever action. That thing was fun as fuck, but, like, the lever fucking was hard as hell to ram home. I don't see 30-06 on here. Am I retarding? Am I having a retard moment here? I just see... Okay. He'll explain.
Yes, so it actually turns out that 30 caliber can shoot everywhere from a pistol to a 300 PRC round. Yeah, and even a 30-06, everywhere in between. Because again, as I said, 30 caliber is the most common type of round you will find.
Which of these is 30-06? Which one? I'm sorry. I don't know.
Under any rifle platform. Almost every rifle shoots a 30 caliber round or can shoot a 30 caliber round, right? From your pistol to your AR-15 with 300 blackout to your 7.62 by 3.9. It's AK-47 shoots a 30 caliber round. 30
Trying to quit smoking.
Savage. 300 Win Mag.
Is vaping really a good replacement? I don't know. We live in an age where you just gotta roll the dice.
30-06 and up to 300 PRC and above. And look at all these different rifles it could possibly be. M1 carbine, AR-15, AK-47, Winchester, M1 Grand, Savage 99, AR-10, Dragunov, 300 PRC. So again, let me make this clear. When we're talking about 30 caliber rounds, which is what the report says, that could be anything from a pistol to a 300 PRC. Basically could be any firearm.
Definitely didn't get hit with the PRC, okay? I don't think.
Let me explain why this is so important to the actual case itself. Well, if we think about this, if we have 300 blackout, which again can be shot out of an AR-15, if you actually look at the cartridge, how much explosive powder it's going to be in it compared to way over
and see, like, the diameter of these is the same, but the size of the bullet is different. I don't know, like, this 7.62, it looks thinner, but maybe that's just my imagination.
Here at this giant 30-06 round and how much explosive.
The 300 Springfield's 30-06. Okay. I was wondering which one.
Powder is in the cartridge of this. What does that mean? Well, this round is going to shoot substantially farther with more foot-pound pressure and do way more damage than this round. All the report tells us is it could be one of any of these, right? And the report literally says that's why. Let's pull the report back up. Okay, so now that we understand all 30 caliber means here is that some type of firearm was used. Okay, that's the best we get out of this. Not that a 30-06 was used. Or it would say a 30-06 was found. All we know is it's some type of 30 caliber. Now, here's where, of course, when we talk about being intellectually dishonest, all these people that came out and said, yes, this proves it, well, they didn't even bother telling you what comes next. Yes, the report says, right?
Officer Tatum. Oh my God. I think he's part of the, $7,000 club or whatever they call it, because I don't know. I used to have respect for that guy, honestly. But now it just seems like, I don't know. He went on the CivNat trigonometry and, just defended the hell out of Israel. Just defended the fucking ever-loving hell out. I'm sorry. I don't mean to curse so much, guys. When I stream, it comes out. I don't normally curse this much in real life, but, there we go. But I keep interrupting. I'm sorry.
Right here, the Exhibit 6A, which is, as we see up here, the 30 caliber damaged bullet fragment, could not be or excluded as having been fired from the Exhibit 1 rifle, Tyler's 30-06, based on agreement of all discernible class characteristics and neither sufficient agreement nor sufficient disagreement of individual characteristics. The result of the comparison was
Yeah. Inconclusive. Okay? That should have been the headline. That should have been the headline.
conclusive, which means they can't prove it's matched to Tyler's 30-06. Literally says it in the report. And the reason why I guess these people couldn't bother reading 3 sentences says right here: firearms that produce general rifling characteristics similar to those observed on the Exhibit 6A bullet jacket fragment include numerous makes and models. What I'm explaining to you literally is in the report. Then, the Exhibit 6B through 6A, all of the lead fragments are not suitable for microscopic comparison. And if you're wondering what they mean by like actually matching the rifle to the bullet, so the way they do this is actually taking the round that they find and trying to match the rifling grooving on the bullet that was caused by being shot out of the rifle. So the barrel in a rifle
Forensics.
is grooved cylindrically like this, so it makes the bullet spin so
Right,
it flies
right.
correctly. And so what they're saying here is that the bullet found in Charlie was so deformed that all they could tell was that it was some type of 30 caliber rifle, but it could not be matched to Tyler's 30.
So the bullet was it never exited, and yet it was so deformed. The bullet never exited, and it was so deformed. Did he have a neck of steel?
30-06. That is what the ATF report states. Not that it matches Tyler's 30-06. It says the opposite of.
And you guys, forgive my ignorance when I chime in here, okay? He knows what he's talking about here, not me. But, like, you know, I'm going to chime in, and then later I'll be like, oh, what a stupid thing to say. Sorry. I apologize in advance.
Of that. All right, guys, real quick. Summer is almost here, and you know what that means. It's time to get in shape if you're not already, and the best way you can do that is to hit the gym. And if you're going to hit the gym, you might as well get your supplementation.
I guess I'll let him do his ad read, right?
Best way you can do that is with our partners over at Tasty Gains Gummies, the makers of the best creatine gummies out there. And
creatine gummies.
Fantastic way to help you get in shape. The great part about Tasty Games, it comes in a gummy form. If you're like me and you hate drinking gritty, disgusting creatine.
I knew a guy in high school. He was like always doing this. And then one day he went, and he freaking broke his finger. In the, you know, it was hilarious. But, you know, what can I say? That's just a short story for you guys. An incident at the lunchroom. What I would like to call it. A man I barely know broke his finger in the lunchroom. How will he ever shove it up his ass again? Sorry.
The great way to go, just pop 3 to 4 gummies. It's pretty much all organic, all creatine monohydrate for the most part. And also, guys, they even have kids' creatine gummies and women's creatine gummies. So if you want to build muscle, improve your muscle recovery, even help the cognitive effects in your brain, you need to get on creatine. And also, guys, easily one of the safest and most effective.
You guys ever heard people say creatine?
And guys, right now, use
my link and
buy one.
I've been corrected to, it's not creatine, it's creatine. Now I'm hearing everybody say creatine. So by a bunch of gym bros back in like the 2000s, creatine guy, it's creatine. And I'm like, is I wrong? Who's right here? Somebody tell me.
Get one free on creatine. What a deal. All right, link in pinned comment and description. Go grab yourself some. Let's get back to the video. Let's talk about why they came out and reported this. Was Liz Wheeler trying to gaslight you? Did she know better? Was she just lying about this? No, it's just the fact is, why would you ever listen to Liz Wheeler for firearms or ballistic information to begin with? And no, as you can see here, she says the bullet fragment recovered from Charlie Kirk's body autopsy matches a 30 caliber class bullet. Correct. The 30 caliber bullet matches the 30-06 rifle
That's not true.
Robinson used to shoot Charlie Kirk.
It matches?
Wait a second. No, it doesn't, Liz. Not only does it not suggest it's a 30-06.
How are you going to say that it matches? Okay, that's straight up lying. Who is Liz Wheeler, dude? Is this? Let me see what her Wheeler. I don't know, info. Who is she? political. She's just a commentator on the Wiz Wheeler show. Blaze TV. Okay, Blaze TV. I'm pretty sure Blaze TV is probably a Zio organization. I don't know who founded it. Founded Blaze TV. Who founded Blaze TV? Glenn Beck. Okay, great. Okay, great. Glenn Beck. Is he a Mormon or something? There's something strange about his religion. Glenn Beck. What is Glenn Beck's religion denomination? Religion. Yeah, LDS. Okay. So he's a Mormon, right? The not so Mormon soteriology. Wow, now that is a word I've never heard. Sorry, guys. Tangent time. So, yeah, you know what I want, Google. You fucking shirt. Study of salvation. Okay. I've watched a lot of apologists and, you know, apologia or whatever you want to call it. I have never heard that word. Okay. All right. I it seems like a word that is just probably unnecessarily, isn't that what, there's eschatology, there's so many words. I think that there's the problem with the English language in a lot of ways is that I love it. There's so many words. You have the high Latin words, the nice, like very beautiful Latin words, and then you have the more low, sort of guttural Anglo-Saxon words, and it's interesting. And there's like so many, just it's got more words than any other language, and it's so incredibly descriptive. And I love the English language for that. But it's also absolutely the best language to obfuscate the truth. It's absolutely the best at that. Um, if you want to lie, you have about 7 synonyms on any given word, I would say, to do that. I haven't done the math on that. That's just my guess. But, let's ask. Let's ask. I'm sorry, guys. Fucking hell. We'll get back. What is the average amount of synonyms for every word in the English language? 2 to 3. Three. Yeah, Ron has. Okay, right. Smart, wise, clever. Yeah, the words for smart, there's a ton. Absolutely a ton. And then you can have a word like pusillanimous. Pusillanimous. And I honestly think that's just pusillanimous is just meant. This is just meant to, like, when somebody writes that, why don't you just write cowardly? You know, small of spirit. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I'd say, because of animus, animate, pusil. All right, guys, I'm really, I'm doing bad at keeping this fucking like. Sorry.
But it very specifically says that it is not matched to that rifle. Now think about this. Obviously, Officer Tatum, TikTok cop, couldn't handle it. So he likes to pretend like he knows anything about firearms or ballistics because he was
Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum to Israel.
As a cop, but look what he says here. Investigators say ballistic evidence points to a 30-06 rifle. No, that doesn't say that anywhere in the report, as I just showed
As
all
a
of you. And
police
all Officer
officer.
Tatum did was just demonstrate that he doesn't even know what caliber means when it comes to bullets. So why are you weighing in on this to begin with? If you are so ignorant to firearms and ballistics that you don't even know what caliber means, maybe you should just sit this one out, don't you think? Now, you want to get even crazier where this is headed? Yeah, you remember how they found DNA evidence on the rifle and the trigger and the towel and the expelled shell casings? Well, this just came out in the pretrial hearing.
The probable cause statement in support of the information says in the middle of page 6, the rifle, ammunition rounds, and towel were sent for forensic processing. DNA consistent with Robinson's was found on the trigger, other parts of the rifle, the fired cartridge casing, 2 of the 3 unfired cartridges, and the towel. We have not received the discovery, and I'm not talking about expert notice. I will address that. We have not received the physical evidence and the electronic evidence that supports those assertions made by Mr. Gray when he swore to the probable cause statement attached to the information.
So, what does that mean? That means the actual evidence, which would be the actual DNA reporting that was done forensically to prove Tyler Robinson's DNA is all over these things, was never provided to the defense during discovery. And why that's important is so you know that the prosecution is required to give the defense all of the evidence as well, right? Because the defense needs to be able to be prepared for whatever the prosecution brings forward. So they are supposed to have access to any evidence that's going to be used in the trial.
Discovery.
And what are they not being provided? The DNA evidence of Tyler Robinson.
But they're saying it's there.
Ooh, boy, that is getting sketchy, because it could be possible that there is no actual reporting and DNA evidence of Tyler Robinson matching him to any of this, if this is true. And that there is no proof his 30-06 was used. In fact, they couldn't conclusively match the bullet to the rifle. So what do they have? Well, if they don't have any DNA evidence of Tyler Robinson touching that rifle and they can't match the bullet to the rifle, they don't have anything. They have no case at all. If this ends up being true, if the prosecution can't provide this to the defense, it's not going to be permissible evidence in the court. Uh-oh. Now, again, we don't know for sure what's going on. All we know now is, according to the ATF, is that Charlie was...
Why wouldn't... I don't understand, I don't understand how Tyler Robinson's lawyers or anything haven't really made any statement yet. I haven't heard any, I've had my ear to the ground, maybe, I thought, but I haven't heard much about it from Tyler Robinson's side. Just silence.
Shot with some sort of firearm, and that they can't match the bullet fired out of whatever firearm that is to Tyler Robinson's rifle. So that doesn't mean that it wasn't necessarily a 30-06. Could have been a 30-06. Maybe that's a 30 caliber. Could have been an AR-15 with a 300 blackout. Could it have been a AK-47? Could have been 300 Wid Mag. Could the shot be taken from 800 meters away with a 300 PRC? It's all possible. The point of this report is this is not good for the prosecution. And so all the Zios who jumped to celebrate this, I'd probably just delete my post if I were you guys. So anyway, guys, just wanted to bring you the actual context of this report so you could understand it for yourself, and you could see that, no, you don't need to be listening to any of these pro-FBI narrative Zionists because they have no idea what they're talking about.
I appreciate this guy. I do. This Professor Zhang guy, he's not even a real professor, I don't think. And he's probably a CCP agent. I guess they're taking the trash out there. Okay. All right. Let's check out some Jimmy Dore, maybe. Where the hell is it? Where the hell? Does this show me how long I've been streaming? 29 minutes. Okay. It's a 3-to-1 ratio on that. Let's watch this. Oh, shit.
So, Kurt, you just tweeted this out. Did you know Israel is way into Warhammer 40K?
Really?
I mean, like, really into it. Since October 7th, 2023, the IDF and Israeli Health Ministry have implemented a
Really?
widespread policy of recovering sperm from deceased soldiers.
Oh yeah, because they want to get the gene seed. Oh God. Oh God.
With over 250 procedures performed for soldiers and security personnel.
I'm surprised Jimmy Dore knows what the hell Warhammer 40K is.
This surge in posthumous sperm retrieval allows parents and partners to preserve sperm for potential future procreation. The procedure is most effective within 24 hours of death, though
Hey everybody, please don't take my sperm when I die.
possibly up to 72 hours.
Yeah, wasn't a common practice before October 7th, by the way, anywhere.
You guys, I'm gonna try my best to not be annoyed by Kurt Metzger. He's everywhere right now. I don't know why I find him so annoying. I'm gonna try not to. You know, he'll give a schizo like me a run for their money. And I appreciate him saying the things he says and all that, but I do feel that he deflects a bit from, like, the Jews everywhere having to take responsibility for this somewhat, you know? Because is it really Israel itself or the diaspora of Jews that are driving this? I mean, there's more Jews in the diaspora than in Israel. They're richer. You know, they're the ones who can actually go and influence other governments because they're there already. So I don't think you can disconnect the diaspora from, like, the actual, you know, the Jews in Israel. And we can, criticize the Israeli government as much as we want. And, we shouldn't hate anyone individually. I find Kurt Metzger annoying, but that's just whatever. I feel that, like, he's really sort of mocking of Christianity, yet at the same time, like, is totally into the Satanist end of this. Eh, Uh, I don't know, man. I don't know. And he was raised as a Jehovah's Witness or something, but hey, I mean, look at that nose. I'm pretty sure, come on, guys. I mean, like, let's make, physiognomy great again. Let's make being able to tell who's what great again. Maybe that's why the Jews should wear the little hats. I'm in favor of them wearing those hats so we know who they are. Even if you're not practicing Jew, wear the little hat, please. Wear the little hat.
Did you know that?
No.
Probably very expensive to do that. Let me just shout out, because I first heard this from, it's called Bad Hasbara or something, the channel on YouTube. And I just saw it pop up my feed. I started watching, and it was so crazy sounding, I had to go, like, just look it up. And the first thing, it popped up right away. It's been going on since October 7th. I hadn't heard of it until this Bad Hasbara channel said something about it. But that is out of a dystopian sci-fi future. Like, it's in the future, there is only war, is the story of this.
Yeah,
thing.
right. Warhammer 40K.
These
right.
like weird eugenic demigods made
Please,
by the
dude.
Emperor of Mankind.
Okay.
When they die, their gene seed, they call it.
Why does it? I'm sorry, guys. He just, I just don't like him. Gene seed. Gotcha.
This guy in the follow, they're not exactly a demigod, more of a fucking.
Please, dude. I don't need the Warhammer 40K lore.
Israel than Iran getting nukes.
That rabbi was right. The rabbi who said it was anti-Semitic to make that cover. Imagine how rough that is. That you're that inbred that your very face is anti-Semitic.
Wow.
What?
Semitic.
Iran getting nukes.
That rabbi was right. The rabbi who said it was anti-Semitic to make that cover. Imagine how rough that is. That you're that inbred that your very face is anti-Semitic.
Wow. Wow. So that's one of the.
So okay, maybe Kurt Metzger is gonna say the Jews are inbred. I don't fucking know. Okay, he's just all over the place, guys. I don't know.
And that's a picture of a guy who was harassing a Palestinian that he was stealing land from.
Is anybody
Remember when they protested for the right to rape the prisoners? Ugh.
American veteran that I don't know was in the street for a while or didn't get what they needed at the VA? In Israel, with our money, they'll recover the sperm of this guy.
Yeah, we'll pay for their, they have free health care subsidized by us, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that they do it through whatever channels they need to do it through to make that not factually true if you ask Grok or something, but I don't know. AI really pisses me off lately because it treats you like a child and it also fucking lies to you and it puts people in psychosis.
When he falls bravely, fighting women and children.
I don't think. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I tripped on a rock. Somebody get my semen. Oh. Oh my god, I'm dead, guys. Oh, David and Goliath. Oh, that child was David, I guess. Oh, the rock hit me right in the fucking nards. Get my semen quick. Jerk me off.
Right. I like how you put this. Who wore it best? Who wore it best?
It's hard to tell. They're both wearing the hell out of that look.
Oh, by the way, let's play this. Here's your
Was that?
Oh, by the way,
The fuck was that?
The hell out of that look.
Oh, by the way,
Is Kurt Metzger a demon? Was that his laugh? What is that?
let's play this. Here's your
What the fuck?
Oh, by the way, let's play this. Here's your
Dr. Trump medicine Jesus.
Dr. Trump medicine Jesus. You ready?
Oh
Let's
my
play it.
god. Oh, it's
I've been
his
called
post.
to heal.
Okay.
Doctor, will I make it? I've been looking.
Now he's posting this, and it's a satire of what Trump posted. And then that probably just makes it seem like Trump actually posted it again. I don't think, I don't think we need to make any more of this type of shit, guys. Come on. Let's just, put away the blasphemy here, guys.
Looking over your chart, all I can tell you for sure is that Candace Owens is a low IQ loser. She's not even as hot as Macron's wife. I think she's jealous because Brigitte has a bigger and more attractive penis. Then you got Megyn Kelly bleeding all over the place. People are saying Candace should be on a teeny weeny submarine. Sad, very sad. Dr. Trump, medicine Jesus, you won't believe what a terrific show this is.
The music really adds something.
It really does.
I've been called.
Todd Glass used to say, "I can't act, but I can act with background music."
Yeah.
And he was right about that. Anyway, nice job. Very nice job on that.
For the Antichrist, Trump is literally auditioning to be the Antichrist. Do you get that? He's doing like an American Idol thing right now.
Well, Tucker Carlson pointed out that he didn't put his hand on the Bible when he got sworn in.
He better not. He would have exploded. Oh, also in the article.
You say that, but you don't believe in the Bible, Kurt Metzger. I mean, I don't know. Somebody keep an eye on this guy.
The deal, and Sam Tripoli first pointed out to me, and I didn't think too much about it at the time, but I should have, because Trump's got a whole chapter about when he would be taking his Kabbalah lessons. I can't remember the name of the good Kabbalah teacher. Yeah, and then he would get tired, and the Rabbi Seidelman title, whatever the fuck his name was, would go, well, you just got to do more Kabbalah, work harder. And it taught him to really work hard. So he's been a Shabbos Goy slave probably the whole goddamn time from his satanic family that raised him. They call him chosen ones. That's what Erica Kirk probably is. That's what the CIA, or CIA Kids was another name. J.R. Sweet's book, he talks all about it. A lot of Mormons were in that. That's why they're doing the DNA tests and checking it. And that's why you hear this bullshit about alien hybrids walk among us.
Yeah, right. What was it? Werner von Braun's dying words were they're going to stage a fake alien invasion to bring in a one world government. Also, if you read Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke, which I have actually read, I've seen a lot of people, specifically Alex Jones, sort of misrepresent the story. But yeah, I mean, it's if you wanted to see like a playbook, the only thing they got wrong in that is that, like, in the end, when when everything was going well, everybody had nothing to do, so they focused on like mastering things, but like you would never become the top. It was very unlikely you'd ever be the best at something. So everybody was really good at everything. But that was they didn't see the internet coming, I guess, because instead of the internet, there was let's all climb mountains, let's excel. It was like humanism, It was like you know, uh fulfilling Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like reaching your full potential. But we didn't get that. We got the internet.
They're looking for a certain blood type. That's why.
Really?
So it's always about oligarchy and bloodline. That's the whole history, right?
Right.
Going back to Venice or way before, but the oligarchy is based on that.
Oligarchy is not based on that. Oligarchies are based off of like the concept through a different name has existed since Plato's Republic. At the very least, guys, I'm just top of my head, but he talks about how democracies devolve into oligarchies. That's not the word he uses, but this is not something that started just in Venice. Yeah, Venice was where big banking sort of started, right? Okay. And it was where the Doge was an elected official, but the real power stood behind, which it is ironic that there was something called Doge, but the real power stood with the Medicis, right? Is that their name? Medici family? Right, something like that.
Wow. The world is crazier than you think. I mean,
Well, it's all stuff you know, but you just never think of it in that way because they train you not to. You're supposed to love princes and princesses and shit, right? Disney teaches you to be a fucking cow.
Why are we supposed to love princes and princesses when the creed of the Freemasons is against crown and cross? But we love princes and, we want kings? Incoherent.
Shut up.
What was that?
Yeah. All right. So what we're let me see what else you got on your timelines. Oh, what's
Tim Pool.
Trump's secret plan is working is the title. I was just saying, how much cope is that? If you had to measure the amount of cope.
Ultra cope. Tim Pool is ultra fucking cope. Like I said in an earlier stream, I think if you want regime talking points, you go to Tim Pool. And I don't think Kurt Metzger is necessarily wrong on a lot of things. I just think he's fucking way schizo and, reading a bit too much into like the occultism and the Kabbalah and all that type of stuff. I think he watched a lot of videos. I don't know. But I just don't I don't subscribe to it as fully as he does, but it is odd how much pagan stuff there is, like how this country was sort of founded by Freemasonry and pagan values, but I don't know.
Of saying something like that in this day and age.
A lot of cope.
Wearing a beanie as a toupee level cope is what I've.
Oh, here's another one you made. Let's play this. Now you say this beautiful image that illustrates my point about what Erica Kirk should have done instead of sue is from Costa Meme Bureau on Facebook. I just animated it and gave her some ideas for materials.
Yeah, to fight back against Drewski.
Yeah. Oh, from Drewski, right? Here's what
from his great makeup guy. You get the same makeup guy, dress up like Drewski, and apologize to yourself.
Yeah, here we go. So, yeah, what you're saying is if Erica Kirk were smart, she'd get her own makeup artist,
look at that little
make her
gremlin.
look like Drewski, then put out a video of her as Drewski apologizing to Erica Kirk. Shit, that would be so funny. I could overlook how she helped kill her husband with Israel and some mommies.
Mormies.
Normies? Oh, okay.
Mormies.
here we go.
Mormons. Some of them might have been mommies. I don't know them. I don't know them all.
Mormon mommy.
Shabbat shalom, you all. I want to apologize to Erica Kirk. I bet Charlie would have wanted her to take over the company. I heard Charlie's last words were, Israel did nothing wrong.
I heard that too.
Me too.
Personally, I think a furry killed Charlie. And there's nothing weird about the story. Shabbat shalom, you all.
Okay.
That was all Grok. Grok's acting.
Oh,
but,
God.
I wasn't in 'cause I really
I
felt
just
it was,
find him so
naturalistic, you know.
irritating.
Yeah. Come see me on tour in Las Vegas, Burbank.
I'm sure in real life, Kurt Metzger, I'd get along great with him and all that, but I don't know. He's got this like tough guy, like I'm smarter than you, like you a fucking retard. You just don't get it. You just don't get it. Like it's all right in front of you, and it's like, oh, I just don't.
California, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Dude, is there any Jimmy Dore episodes without him in it? I mean, because I don't find him as funny as Jimmy Dore does. I think Jimmy Dore has a bit of a fake laugh there. And now we're just like going totally off the wheels here and like just hating. Like, I don't want hate to become like a huge fucking component of this. I wish that we could win without like needing to hate. Okay. I don't know. That's not very well thought out, but like, if you hate, they win. If you play into this anti-Semitic stereotypes, they win. If you make Netanyahu into a little goblin man, then all the Jews see that and they say, you've proven us right. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. Let's see. 12 minutes. Let's go for it. One more.
This is going to get a little dark.
China.
Officially, China's 2026 murder season is in full swing. What you're seeing here are mountains of confiscated electric bicycles. It may seem crazy, it may seem wasteful, but right now the government is actually going into people's homes, going into schools, and confiscating these.
Okay. Why?
Putting them on the back of trucks and driving them out to these big fields where they're dumped, either sold abroad to places in Africa or quite often just left to rot.
I'll take them.
China, in all of its wisdom, has decided that certain types of electric bicycles, the ones that people rely on, to do food deliveries, the ones that people use as their family transport to get to school, to get to work, they've decided that no, they're all going to be scrapped because they're illegal. This, of course, leads to the typical wasteful piles of rubbish lying around the Chinese countryside, whether it's subsidized EVs, e-bikes.
By the way, guys, this is Serpent Z-A. He says Z because he's from South Africa. I guess Zed isn't just British, also South African. He's what he calls a salt dick because he's of British ancestry, which means you have 1 foot in Africa, 1 foot in England, and where does that put your dick? In the salty
shared
water.
Bicycles, you name it. When they decide they're going to change
But he's an American citizen now, okay?
something up, they just do it. And they've been doing it en masse. Huge crowds of police at intersections, huge crowds of police raiding schools, raiding businesses, and of course, raiding people's homes, stealing e-bikes. Because you know what? They were legal to buy. They were legal to manufacture. But all of a sudden, they're just illegal to own. So why am I talking about e-bikes? Well, this is a prime example of what leads to what are called revenge against society attacks. When the government in China decides that they're going to change a policy or implement...
By the way, guys, I just want to say, you know, I don't know. This could always be propaganda. But, you know, from what he says, China puts a big facade and it looks very impressive, but it's still 50% rural. There's trash behind the glittering neon. You know what I mean? He lived there. He lived in South Africa. I mean, I want to take his word for it. I don't know. I'd like to believe China's not that big of a threat. I really would. Be nice.
Something. They do not consult the public. There is no option for the public to protest against this. I mean, if you've spent probably half a year's salary on an electric bicycle, something that is absolutely essential to your daily life because you cannot afford a car or you cannot afford or have access to public transport, and the government decides that they're just going to take it away, there's nothing you can do. They're not giving you any compensation. They're stealing it from you. So you can try and protest, but if you try to protest in China, they will literally disappear you, or they will arrest you, or they will come and stop you. And any trace of you actually protesting, holding up a sign or making a scene will be deleted off the internet. You are quite literally disappeared, both digitally and in the real world too. You can't go and complain to the government because there is a way to do it. Go to Beijing.
You should never, I mean, complaining to the government never does anything here either, so.
And they've got a petitioning office, but nothing ever gets...
One thing I don't like about, like South Africans or people generally who come from like third world countries and come here and they say, you Americans complain too much. Like, you don't know how bad it was there. And it's like, but bro, like, we don't want the South Africanization of the U.S. That's what we don't want to happen, and that's why we complain. If we don't, you know, I just said complaining doesn't really do anything, but like, yeah, of course we're gonna complain. Like, just because like we went from 90% good to 50%, and that's still better than Africa, which at 10%. Doesn't mean that we shouldn't like complain because we're 40% better than them. I just, you know, like, I mean, those numbers are just like fucking random. They don't mean anything, but I think you get my point.
It's resolved. The thing is, even if you can afford to go to the petitions office in Beijing, it's not going to change their policies. They're not going to all of a sudden say, you know what, we're going to let you keep your electric bike that we've now deemed illegal because we just don't like these type because they're catching fire or because they're not meeting safety standards or whatever their reason is for it. Of course, the main reason is they don't like bikes. They think it makes the cities look dirty and poor and so on. There's lots of different reasons why they do this, but it doesn't matter what their reasons are. They decide overnight that they're going to change their policy on it, and all of a sudden, you lose out. So what do you do in a situation like this? Nothing. That's the problem. There is no outlet. You cannot complain. You cannot protest. You cannot go and actually contact somebody in the government. You cannot contact the press to get them to come and do an interview with you. There's nothing you can do. You have to suck it up. Now, this electric bike situation is just but a drop in the bucket of the types of frustrations that people have to endure living in Chinese society. And unfortunately, it leads to these horrific revenge against society attacks. Like this one that just happened in Guangxi last week. Where a guy specifically targeted and rode over people on their bikes. Or how about the week before, when this BMW smashed into children and parents alike outside of a school?
Looks a lot like Europe, Germany. Maybe they need to put those, you know, rising bollards up, you know. I mean, I guess it's good to know it's not only happening here, but like, yeah, it's also happened in the U.S. too. That remember that news article where it says car hits 20 people? It's just the car. It wasn't the black man driving it, right?
Jiangsu. Or how about the guy in the front-end loader that last month crashed into a crowded market in Beijing, killing over a dozen people, and who knows how many other people were injured. He literally took construction equipment and rammed over people.
Bulldozer, but with less steps.
where they're selling vegetables and meat and so on in the market. And of course, pedestrians too. These big attacks, these big vehicular homicides, and of course there are mass stabbings and things like that too.
Sure.
I'm not going to get into that in this episode. But these revenge against society attacks are such a commonplace in China now that it seems like every week I'm seeing a new one. If I wanted to, I could simply just show examples of these attacks and make an hour-long video. We could sit here forever talking about all of them, like this one that happened in Fuzhou, or this one that happened outside of the #1 primary school in Beijing, or this one that happened in Nanjing. They're countless. They seem to be happening every day.
Why don't these people just, park in the garage and run the carbon monoxide on themselves instead of doing this to other people? If you want revenge against society, I don't know. Why don't you go light yourself on fire like those dipshits? I mean, I don't know. May they rest in peace. Those people were so psyoped that they have to light themselves on fire.
And they're ramping up once again because officially China's 2026 murder season is in full swing. Now, before we get into the harsh realities of China's murder season, let's lighten the mood with a data broker rap.
Okay.
Deep within the corporate office or a single folk,
Who's his
builds family. What?
Incognito. All right, guys, that's who he's running the ad for. Incognito. I'm not gonna watch it, but you guys know. Or no, Incogni. Sorry, Incogni. Gotcha. All right. I don't want to watch it, but I'm gonna say that's his sponsor.
Now, back to the show. So let's take a look at the guy in the front-end loader, because this really sums it up. When he was wrestled from his front-end loader and he was pulled out by the crowd because, he literally murdered a whole bunch of people, they found a stack of petitioning papers in his front-end loader on the dashboard. Apparently it was centimeters thick. The guy being going to on the dashboard. They found a stack of petitioning papers in his front-end loader on the dashboard. Apparently it was centimeters thick. The guy being going to the petitioning office in Beijing, there is one that you're allowed to go to. In the Chinese constitution, it says you can take your grievances to the government. Of course, it says that.
I wonder what they're gonna do to that guy. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of imagination, but I don't think he's gonna go peacefully.
Nothing ever gets done about it. But people go in a specific time. During the 2 sessions, there's a big government meeting that they hold. And so they go during that time because they know it's a sensitive time. And they feel as if they go there and try to cause a fuss during this sensitive time, that the government is more likely to try to hush them up by taking care of their problem. Of course, this isn't actually true. Lines outside of that place, they are massive every day, and I don't think anyone ever gets anything resolved, but at least they have the belief that they will get their problems seen to and resolved. So this guy apparently for years had been trying to get his problem, whatever it may be. It could be something to do with his real estate investment that went south. It could be something to do with the land that he was on that he was forced off. It could be something to do with investment scams. You never know. There's so many issues in Chinese society that just aren't ever addressed, because when people fall on hard times, the government ignores them.
That's why they're all over here, huh?
There are no social programs. There are no charities for people to go to when they're in dire straits. They have to rely on family. And family can't always help out.
Especially in a culture where, like, your God is what I've heard China is like.
This guy needed his problems taken care of, and for years, apparently, they weren't, and he'd been petitioning.
By the way, not much different than here.
So what do? Unfortunately, in China, what people do is they try to draw as much attention to themselves as possible, and they do this through revenge against society attacks. And they take 2 forms usually. Number 1, mass vehicular homicides. This is something, like I said, happens almost on a daily basis at some points in the year. This is something that every single month in China, you will see videos, horrible videos of people plowing into pedestrians on the side of the road, plowing into crowded crosswalks, plowing into people on their bikes.
What's strange is it's all Chinese doing it to Chinese there. Here we have it, either foreigners like in Europe doing it for their enchilada or whatever. the mentally ill Islamists that even the Middle East didn't want going over there, and then here we have people who are radicalized by like BLM and think that everything is the white man. All right, if everything was the white man, like guys, there wouldn't be so much white trash out there. All right, let's get real about that. And I think that a lot of black people know that when they deal drugs to those treasure. I'm sorry, whatever.
And specifically plowing into children and parents outside of schools. Unfortunately, the second method of revenge against society is attacking young children at school or outside of their schools. And we've seen countless mass stabbings by middle-aged men who go into kindergartens, go into middle schools, and just start indiscriminately attacking children.
And we get the bad press for school shootings, which, don't get me wrong, are absolutely awful. But you see this happens here. Mass violence is becoming an everyday occurrence everywhere, I guess.
Because the worst thing you can do in China to get revenge against society is to kill children. And that is because children are people's social blanket. It's their social security. When you have a child in China, because of the way the family structure works, you pour all of your money and
they're all being militarized.
Entire family's fortune into raising that child so that when you reach retirement age, you will be able to move in with your child and they will look after you. It's like a retirement fund. And if you get rid of somebody's future, somebody's retirement fund,
I hope that's not the only reason they get sad about their children dying, that's just their retirement fund. Really, I hope that I think that even the Chinese love their children, right? I hope.
It's the biggest revenge you can have against society. And that is why they go after children.
And I know the Chinese in the U.S. do, okay? I know it. I actually know some Chinese people. Chinese Americans, first generation, third generation, whatever. I've never met a bad one, to be honest with you.
But it's unfortunate to see that murder season has...
Except for Professor Yang, with his predictive history. What a crock of shit.
Once again kicked off. This is a societal ill...
I wish he would cover Professor Yang. Maybe he has.
...that will not go away. This is a societal ill in mainland China only. This is a societal ill that will only ever go away if people have a way of venting their frustrations. Of course, there's no excuse for these abhorrent acts and these terrible attacks. But when you have a system that is so oppressive, that doesn't allow a person that has a grievance to vent their grievance, to have a place to go and talk about it, to have the media to talk to have government institutions that they can reach out to have courts and rights and labor laws and things like that. When you don't have that, this is the result. Anyway, I hope you guys have learned something from this video. Rather grim one, unfortunately. But either way, regardless, stay awesome.
Thanks, Winston. All right. Guess I'm going to end it here, guys. I think we went through 3 videos. Maybe I'm hopefully getting quicker or more effective. I don't know. But what we're going to do is stop the stream, and I'm going to say thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. You guys take care. I'm going to end it on YouTube. Stop.